Captain McAwesome. What's in a name? Asks William Shakespeare. That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Or would it? In a recent self-constructed survey uploaded to SurveyMonkey.com and conducted on over 100 internet users between October 1st and 10th of this year, it was revealed that 94% believe it is their personality and not their name which defines their destiny. However, various research over the years has gone on to suggest otherwise, by stating that a Barack Obama, Mark Zuckerberg, Kim Kardashian, or Lady Gaga by any other name would be an entirely different person. So how does a name define who you are? In 3 ways. The first, it is a representation of you as a person. The second, it holds the power of predisposition. And lastly, it can even go so far as to hinder or encourage your potential opportunities towards success in life. First names are used on a daily basis. And unless you change yours, like 50,000 other Americans each year, it is the one thing you're forever stuck with. So how does a name define who you are? A great person to ask would be Carlos Estevez. By a show of hands, how many of you have heard of him? Alrighty, how about Natalie Hirschlag? Norma Jean Mortensen? Reggie White? No? Right, well, I'm willing to bet that the vast majority of you have heard of these individuals. You just know them as a name other than their own. They are Charlie Sheen, Natalie Portman, Elton John, and Marilyn Monroe. Like I said, a name is a representation of who you are. And sometimes, being born with an unfortunate name such as Cherry Chevitt Pravitt Dumdrum, or wishing to change your image, is reason enough to formally change your name. When I was in high school, my friends and I had an ongoing joke about what type of girl a Courtney was. In every movie and television and show, she was depicted as a man-eating cheerleader with a provocative wardrobe. The fact that I was on the cheerleading team did not do me any favors in trying to extinguish this stereotype. So sophomore year, I drastically altered it. By which I mean I took out the Y and I threw in an extra E. But it wasn't long before people took notice, and soon I was a separate race of Courtney, different from all the other man-eating cheerleaders. Similarly, movie star Marilyn Monroe was born Norma Jean Mortensen, but it wasn't until she was asked by Warner Brothers Studios to change her name to something that exuded more star quality, jazz hands, that she finally won roles in timeless box office hits, married famed Joe DiMaggio, and became a legendary icon. There is great chance under different representation, Miss Monroe would not have achieved the same level of success. This is referred to as predisposition. A lot of things contribute to what you will be predisposed to in life, including your heritage, the socioeconomic level of the community you grow up in, and of course, what your parents decide to name you. A name can shape who you'll sit next to in school, the likeliness of your being arrested, and can even go so far as to shape what grades you'll earn in school, or how often you'll strike out when you step up to the plate in a game of baseball. From an early age, you've been told A's are good, B's are fine, C's are average, and a D is one letter above the most dreaded grade you could ever receive, an F. But have you ever given thought as to whether or not some of us are more inclined to earn a particular grade based upon nothing more than our initials? Is Alex Adams poised to be at the top of his class while Frank Fitzgerald is doomed to drop out and become a drug dealer? Yale University's late Nelson and Joseph Simmons uncovered that over the course of 15 years, MBA students at Yale University, whose initials began with a C or a D, earned lower GPAs than those with A or B initials. Following this, they examined the performances of students across the country in various law schools. They found that as the quality of the schools declined, so did the number of students with A and B initials. Simply put, Alex Adams went to Harvard Law School and Frank Fitzgerald went to an unaccredited institution you've probably never heard of. So why were these students predisposed to such grades? For the same reason, Carl Coley Kolseth struck out in baseball more times than Barry Bonds. In baseball, when a player strikes out, it is recorded on a stat sheet with the letter K. Because of an unconscious fondness for these letters, one's own initials can lead you to strike out in a game of baseball, or get an F on your report card. Alongside predisposition is a phenomenon you've experienced on a daily basis: opportunity. Opportunities can present themselves in a number of ways. They can be handed to you on a silver platter just as easily as they can be taken away, based upon nothing more than what your parents decide to name you. Many have disagreed with this statement at one time or another, including Dr. Roland G. Fryer. In Morgan Spurlock's 2007 documentary entitled A Rashonda by Any Other Name, Fryer revealed that African American parents are more likely than any other ethnic group to give their children outwardly unique sounding names. In fact, in just 1 year, over 200 babies were born with unique variations of the name Unique. They range in spelling from the standard U-N-I-Q-U-E to U-N-E-E-K to U-N-I-Q-Q-U-U-E-E. All of these children had African American parents. But Fryer then goes on to say that he does not believe these names will in any way affect these children's lives. More so, the socioeconomic level of the community that they grew up in. This idea was soon disproved by yet another Harvard professor, Senthil Mullainathan. In Mullainathan's 2007 study entitled, Are Greg and Emily More Employable Than Lakeisha and Jamal? 5,000 resumes were sent out to corporate positions in both Boston and Chicago. The resumes were identical in regards to education, work experience, and abilities. The only difference? Half the resumes were sent out under the name Tyrone, and the other half under the name Greg. Over the course of 10 weeks, Greg was called in for an interview 33% more times than Tyrone. What this means is that if a white man were searching for a job, an equally qualified black man would be searching for the same job 33% times longer, solely because of how African American his name sounds. In life, we are not in a position to control everything. It is not known why we prefer the name Monroe over Mortensen, or why an AOL survey revealed that 40% of women are unsure of whether or not they marry the man of their dreams if he had an unfortunate sounding last name. But the facts do remain. A name is a representation of who you are. It does hold the power of predisposition, and it can hinder or encourage your potential opportunities towards success in life. And lastly, celebrities will continue to give their babies ridiculous sounding names like Apple, Bookcase 7, and Sandstorm. Now the